make sure your arms are open, palms up or palms down. Take those arms wide and those legs wide. If you're started seating, cross legs, legs out in front, or even get a nice big cushion to sit on. Allowing yourself some time to arrive on the mat. And without putting any force or pressure on the breath, just noticing your breathing as you come to your mat, as you come to this space. For the next 45 minutes or so, we're just going to put our mind and body on our mat and just put everything else aside for the moment. Imagine that little box and all those thought processes. Lock it away. It'll be there at the end if you need it to be. Bringing your attention to your breath. And if it feels good for you, maybe starting to deepen that inhale, lengthening that exhale. Just see if you can let go of any tension anywhere throughout the body you're holding on to. Any tension you do not need this morning. Maybe soften the jawline. Let those shoulders melt down away from those ears. And if you're lying down, let the body sink into the mat. If you're seated, sitting tall, crown of the head lifted. Gently tucking the chin, lengthening at the back of the neck. Start to connect with your breath. See if you can take deeper breaths into that belly expands, ribs expand to the side of the room. Exhale, let it fall. Starting to focus on that full diaphragmatic breathing, that full yogi breath. On your next inhale, feel that belly rise to the ceiling, chest rise. Exhale from the chest, belly. Again, inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest first, and squeeze every last bit out from the belly. And taking the hands to the stomach can really help you feel that abdominal area rise. Even coming to the side of the ribs. Feeling as you take that breath into that space. Try and keep that connection with your breath. And if you find you come to any poses that you start to hold and restrict that breathing, just maybe spend a little longer there. You can always catch up. Spend as long as you need in these poses. You don't have to move at the same time as I do. And if they're too much, just always come into child's pose or lying back on your back. So starting lying on your back. So if you're seated, I want you to come down to lying. If you're already there, start to gently walk one knee into chest joining by the other. Give them a nice little rock, starting to bring a bit of movement to the body. Maybe bring that forehead up towards your knees, lengthening the head back down. Take the hands on top of the knees and start to take some rolls. Notice rather than just the movement, actually what happens in the body. Maybe starting to notice a bit of a massage of that lower back on the mat, and if that doesn't feel good, just stop, just hold. Maybe taking them side to side is nice. And we're going to start with quite a strong twist. So I want you just to let your legs fall into it rather than force. We're going to take those arms open. I'm going to just drop the knees to one side. I'm simply just letting the knees fall, no force. Take the gaze into the opposite direction. And if these knees are up in the air, that's okay. But to start with, there's no force, there's no pushing the legs down at all, just let the arms be at the side. Noticing if this is across the chest, maybe the opening of the twist, across the ribs. Breathe into that space, connect back with your breath. In these twists, it's hard to try and keep a deeper breath into the belly, but have a go. Two more breaths here. And then gently hugging the knees up. Maybe you help the knees, squeeze them into chest, reset, and then let them drop to the other side. Again, drop those shoulders down. Take the gaze along the opposite fingers, but no force. Try not to grab the whole knee, pushing it down. So we're just going to take some time, some stretches. Gently opening the body, a little bit of mobility. And I'm going to flow nicely through a really slow vinyasa. Moving with the breath. Two more breaths here. Gently hugging the knees back in. Again, a little rock, maybe a little massage, creating circles with the knees. Changing direction. And then we're going to hold on to one knee, lengthen out the other leg. And I want you to think about active toes, so drawing the toes back on that straight leg. Drawing that knee into chest, take a breath in, feel the belly rise. Exhale, draw the knee a little closer into that space. So that thigh is creating pressure against the abdominal area. And if that feels too much, just ease off, or you can take it to the side. And even though we're focusing on this whole body element today, be mindful of the shoulders. So if it's easier to grab a strap and place the strap around here, or a tea towel, hand towel, have the elbows to the side, interlacing through a strap here. That can be nice, so we're not forcing through the shoulders. Hug the other knee back in, change sides. So again, active toes. Think about breathing into this abdominal area. As you take a breath in, the belly expands. Exhale, draw the knee a little closer into that space. Straight leg, toes drawn back. Hugging both knees back in one last time, little rock. can either push yourself up to seating or maybe a little rock of the spine. Coming up to a seated posture. Take a roll of the shoulders, any cross-legged position here. And I'm going to come into cat-cow, but seated. So we'll come into 4-point in a moment. Now I want you to think about tucking the chin into chest, leaning into your back, really leaning back into this. Chin sinks down, lifting the chest, lifting the head, chin slightly, breath in. Exhale, sinking, doming through here. You're going to hold onto the knees or you can keep the hands rested, it's your choice. Starting to create a bit more movement. 4 more times here. Maybe roll the shoulders back and down with it as you lift the chest through. So we exhale, chin to chest. Inhale. Come for a seated twist. Take your arms up to the ceiling. Twisting over one knee, using this hand as a little bit of leverage, tripod fingers or palm flat, your choice. Keep those shoulders square, looking behind you. Send the breath to the belly. Exhale, maybe twist a little further. Gentle here, no force. Two more breaths. Gently back round, centre, over to the other side. Try and keep those shoulders square. You want to keep a long spine. Think of your next breath in, sitting a little taller. And exhale, maybe look a little further behind. Only going as far as comfortable, just letting the body warm up a little first before we go deeper into these twists. And if that feels too much, just ease back off. Should be gentle twists. One more breath in. And exhale back to centre. We're going to take that chin to chest one last time. Dropping back, sitting back in, lifting the chest. Let's do that again. Sitting back in, chin to chest. Lift the chest. We're going to come on to 4-point kneeling. So think about taking those knees hip width apart, hands, spread those fingers wide, star-shaped hands. Tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin. Lift the chest. Tailbone lifts. Keep that connection going as you lift the chest. You inhale. Exhale. Chin to chest. Same again, exhale, chin to chest, inhale, chest lifts ahead. Just take a check of your elbows, make sure you're not dumping into the joints, softening them, check at the knees. Keep that connection going, don't hold the breath. Starting to create a little bit of fluidity throughout the body. Letting the hips roll from side to side. Weight shifting over the wrists and coming back again. maybe changing directions, really warming up these joints, getting these wrists used to this position. Really nice tip here at the end of the mat, roll the mat up and then use this for a bit of extra padding on the wrists. You can do this again on the knees, or you can do this with a blanket. Last bit here, start to take a figure of 8. So whatever that feels like for you, taking the shoulders and the hips in the opposite direction. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Close the eyes and just notice how it feels. Notice if there's any tight bits, maybe sit back into that. Maybe changing direction. And then we're going to do a little piece of really warming up those wrists. So don't have to spend too long in this if it's too much. But where you were in your kneeling position, just want you to notice the wrists and start to turn them out. So staying in that 4-point kneeling. And maybe just starting to shift them back. Maybe taking a little bit of movement around one direction and then the other. If you haven't done this before, be gentle. Don't force them. Maybe that movement's too much and you just need a little bit of stillness. Maybe a little gentle rock, forwards and backwards. It's quite a strong pose for the wrists, so really just going with what feels good. Don't force them. So stretching through those forearm muscles. Starting to ease it back. Maybe take a rock from side to side. And then starting to take them the other direction. And just stopping wherever you need. And you start to feel like you're really twisting from the shoulder, and it's stopping coming from the forearm, coming through here, or maybe the opposite side. Take a little bit longer if you need to, and then start to work your way back to fingertips facing forwards. And that's the normal way, rather than fully twisted if you got there. Spread the fingers wide when we're in any 4-point kneeling. Try and grip the floor. Come back to seated. Take an interlace of the fingers. Nice little rock for the wrists. Change direction. You can be cross-legged here if this is better. Take the knuckles away, and while we're here, let's stretch the upper back, chin to chest. Lift those knuckles to the ceiling. Stretch them away. Let's do that again. Interlace those fingers. Knuckles here. Chin to chest. Lifting back up. Spread them wide. Lovely. We're going to come up to standing, so whichever way you want to. Otherwise, maybe tucking the toes. Starting to come into that almost first forward fold. And we're going to make our way to the front of the mat. So front of your mat, your blanket, or whatever space you've created this morning. Take those toes, give them a wiggle. Try and lift them off the mat. So give those toes a good old lift. Spread them wide. I want you to imagine you've had your nails painted. Sorry guys. And you've got something individually between them. Try and really spread them. And then here, gently rock the weight forwards and backwards. And as you come forwards, press the toes into the ground. Start to lift the heels. Let them catch you. Sit back. Lift the chest. Notice as you start to lose that balance, your core muscles start to switch on. They were not already there. Maybe close those eyes. Just start to imagine yourself rooting down through the feet. You can even imagine yourself growing roots, anchoring yourself into the ground. We're going to float really slowly through here. We're going to take a big bend in the knees. Lift the chest, take the gaze up with the thumbs. Bring those hands back down to heart center. We're going to do that one more time. Bend the knees, inhale. Starting to warm up, maybe a little bend, bring them back down again. Again, more movement, really scoop up. One more. Lift the chest, hands back to heart center. First step. Second, we're going to lift. Option, bit more of a bend, then exhale, fold all the way forwards. Let the head sink down. Keep the weight evenly distributed amongst the feet. Spread the toes wide. Try and look between the thighs. Take hold of the opposite elbow. Ragdoll, arms here. Give that head a shake, no. No tension held. As much of a bend in the knees as you need. Lengthen the arms back down. Gently lift the head, lift the chest, look forwards. Here you can bring hands to shins, hands to thighs. And then exhale, fold. Let's do that again. So we inhale, lift, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold it down. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold it down. We're going to come back all the way up to standing. We're going to scoop up. Bum comes down. Inhale. Gaze comes up with the thumbs. Exhale. Hands back to heart center. We repeat. Inhale, lift up. Optional back bend. Enjoy these stretches. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. And the next time we fold. Fold it all the way forwards. Let yourself fall down. Lengthen at the back of the body. Inhale in your own time, halfway lift. We do this 2 times. Fold back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Big bend in the knees. Scoop the arms all the way up. Bring those hands back to heart center. Connect back with your breath. Sometimes we try and run so fast in postures, exercise classes, that to sometimes just slow down. We can work those muscles just as hard. Connect yourself with the breath, with the movement. Notice if this is enough for you this morning. You can repeat here, that upper part as many times, enjoying the stretches, even as we come up into our inhale. You can come into side stretches, really opening up the body. You don't have to come down to the ground. That's our next step we add on. Inhale, big bend in the knees. Exhale, fold all the way forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. We do this 2 times. Lengthen at the back of the body. Inhale again. This time as we fold down, we're going to plant the hands outside the feet. We're going to step back one foot, and then we're going to step the other foot back to join it. So take your time. We meet in a high plank. We're going to lower down to our knees, untuck the toes. Then we're trying to slide our chest through the gap as we lift up into our cobra. And if this is too much, bring yourself down. We're going to do that again, so we're going to send our bum back. So we come down from a high plank, we dropped our knees, we send our bum back, and then we slide through again. Cobra. And then we're going to exhale, child's pose or downward dog. Send yourself back, all the way back into child's pose, or tuck the toes. First downward dog. Unless you've been doing yoga early this morning, this probably is your first one today. So when you think about bending the knees, give that head a shake. No tension at the back of the neck, the back of the body. Maybe start to pedal one heel down, then the other. We're not here for long. Grip the floor, spread those fingers wide like we did earlier. And then we're going to make our way to the front of the mat. You can do that however you wish. You can take a little walk, or you can come with me. We're going to lift one leg. Three-legged dog. We're going to send that knee all the way through. And then we're going to place it as high to the front of the mat as we can. Other leg steps through. Big bend to the knees. Inhale. All the way back up. We keep moving. Connect back with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold again, halfway. Exhale, fold it down. Step back with the opposite foot this time. Notice if there's any restrictions, any tightness. Give yourself time. Take your time to come back into your high plank. Lower down your knees. Slide through your chest. Lift the chest, maybe come a little higher if that feels okay. Otherwise, we're always here. Breath in, lengthen, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, open the mouth. Let that breath go. Again. Stick the tongue out, lion's breath. Make your way to the front of the mat, maybe the opposite leg lifts. Send that leg through. Step the other foot through. Slowly bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Give yourself time to connect back with your breath. Bring the hands to the side of the body. Length at the back of the body. Tucking the chin. Option to grab some water now if you need, and then we flow and add on. So straight into it if you want to keep going. Sat round 2. Give those toes a wiggle, big bend of the knees. 2 more times here. Fold forwards, inhale. We're warming up the body, we're lengthening through the body. Fold down. Bend in the knees. Exhale, fold. Step back with the opposite. Try and switch sides every time. High plank. Knees down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose or downward facing dog. Bend in the knees in your downward dog. Again, we only have 2 breaths, but let that head sink towards the floor. Maybe you took a 3-legged dog last time. Maybe you start to walk the feet forwards towards the hands. Come back into your fold. Do whatever feels good for you here. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, exhale, fold. Halfway lift, exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway. Last time here, step back, switch legs. Maybe you want to try a little harder this time, so instead of knees drop, maybe you squeeze down into a low plank and then roll through. So the difference between cobra and up dog is our thighs are off the ground. And then we come back into downward facing dog. Last time, child's pose or downward dog, 2 breaths. Make your way to the front of the mat. Scooping the arms up. Draw them back into heart center. Connect back with your breath. Notice how you're feeling. Bring your hands down to the side of the body. Open the wrists. Close the eyes down. Shut the body down. Spread the fingers wide. You start to shift your weight over to one leg. Tiptoes still in contact. Notice what happens through this hip. Squeeze the buttocks. Engage the glutes. Shift back over to the other leg. We want to avoid dumping into the legs. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the toes. Take it over to the other side. Shifting the weight fully, maybe starting to lift off the leg. We're just coming into a balance as opposed to tree. Give those toes a wiggle. Last time, shift over to the other side. Notice the toes gripping to the mat. Engage the glutes, engage the abdominal muscles. As much as each foot grips to the ground, I want you to think about this as you come into your warriors. Sending whichever leg you would like to start with back. Lifting the leg high. We're going to send it all the way back through. So we're going to come into that balance. Sending that leg back through. And then step it all the way back. High lunge. Pivot on that back foot. Sink deeper into this front knee. Warrior 1. Inhale, lift the arms. Sink into the knee. Have a little look at your front toes. Can you see them? Wiggle that foot a little further forwards. Lengthen. Back of the body. Back leg is straight. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Active through the fingers. Breath in, inhale. Open up. Warrior 2. We're going to move here. We're going to flip the front palm, back palm, straighten the front leg. As we do, we're going to lift the gaze to the ceiling, lengthen, sink. Again, lift, lengthen. You can shorten the space. Take as much bend in the arms as you need. Start to create more movement. Use those arms as your power. One more. I'm going to come into our twist. So we're going to take our leg at the front straight. Both legs are straight. Flipping the front palm. We're going to reach forwards. I'm going to come down into our triangle pose. Top arm comes up to the ceiling. Connect back with your breath. We're here for 4. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. We're going to try a little harder. We're going to lift back out of this pose. Keep that front leg straight. Open the arms. open the body. We're going to try and take the opposite arm down to the outside. Try and lift that top arm to the ceiling. Strong twist here. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back out. Give those toes a wiggle. Excuse me one moment. Sorry guys, something in my throat. Bring those legs wide. Grab some water. Bear with me. We're going to take it over to the other side. Sorry guys. Take the legs wide. Take it over to your other side. Big bend in the front knee, toes wiggled forwards. Inhale up. Warrior 1. Make sure you're on to the opposite leg. Sink deep into the shoulders. Maybe open up the arms here. Lift the chest. Connect back with your breath. When you're ready, open up. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip those palms, straighten that front leg. Palm to palm. Exhale, sink. Connect back. Belly breathing. One more here. Lengthen that front leg. Flip that palm, reach those fingers. Keep those legs straight. Hand comes to the inner shin, top arm comes to the ceiling. Think about length through the body, rather than trying to come down to the ground. Lift yourself up, keep yourself in long lines. Breathe. Opening up. Take a little wider step this time if you want to make it a little easier with your twists on balance, otherwise stay where you are. All that's going to do is open up the hips a little more, noticing if you're maybe tighter one way than the other. So staying with your legs, I'm going to open up the arms, take a twist to the other side, outside of the leg, open up to the ceiling. We're here for 4, 3, 2, last one. Gently lift yourself up. Open up the body. Take those legs wide. Lift those arms. Exhale. Hands come all the way down to the ground. Fold it all the way down. Hands come down to the floor. No tension at the back of the body. Connect with your breath. So those are some strong twists. We're going to open up one last time. Hands make our way to the center, fingertips down, palm flat, whatever's there for you. If you want to bring some books or the ground up to you through a block, we inhale, open up. We're here for 5 breaths. Hand can always come to the shoulder, or you can always move. Move with the breath. Last one. Change over to the other side. Inhale, lift, open and hold. Or move, fold forwards. Inhale, open. Two more. Last one. Heel toe those feet a little closer. Option to come to a wall. We're going to come down into our malasana or our low squat. So we're going to think about sending your hips down, opening up through the chest. Hands come in here to heart center. So we're thinking about opening up, lifting the chest, lengthening through the back of the body. So using a wall to slide down. Those knees are out to the side, as wide as you need. Keep the weight through the heels, even if the hands come down to the thighs, or even if you're here into a low squat. Hands can eventually come down, pressing the hips open. Maybe we can lengthen, create longer levers. Lift the chest. Sliding down a wall can help. We're here for 4. 3, if you need to come out early, just come down to the ground. 2, 1. Really nice. Slowly come down. Fingertips down to the ground. Making your way onto your backs. Lengthen the legs out. Lengthen those arms up. Stretch those toes away, stretch those fingers away. Draw those toes back to you. Bring those hands back down to the side, reaching to the side of the body. Lift those arms up overhead. Maybe take an interlace as you point the fingers. Point the fingers, point the toes. Interlace those arms, let one arm help the other. We're going to do that again, so we can keep the arms back. Last time, big breath in. Point the toes, lift those arms up overhead. And then we're going to take it over to one side. So we're going to lift those shoulder blades, take them off the mat. Legs are going to come over to one side again, so we're coming into that banana stretch. Either stay here or grab hold of the wrist. Maybe you hook that leg onto the other ankle. Big opening in the side of the body. This hand or forearm can come to rest on the forehead. Use pillows here under this elbow. Breathe into this space. All these twists, all this warming up through the flow of the poses, lengthening through the body. Should help these poses at the end. Two more breaths here, connect back with the belly breath. Gently unhooking the leg, unhooking the hand, maybe take a little roll up, hug the knees up to chest if you need, otherwise take it over to the other side. Noticing if you need an extra bit of support, that's okay. Sometimes to sink into these postures gives you a little bit more relief. Letting go in them rather than forcing them. Most important thing are your shoulder blades and your hips. Back and pelvis is in contact. Open up through here, grabbing hold of the wrist. Looking to the ceiling. Breathing into the space you've created again. letting the body slow down. Maybe over time you can take the legs a little further over. Gently unhooking the leg, unhooking the wrist. We're going to come into the fish pose. And an alternative, we can do bridge. So I'll show you bridge first. We're going to take the heels close to the bum. I'm going to keep them hip distance apart, tapping the flat of the back, so lower back flattens down to the ground. And I want you to think about peeling the spine up. Arms rested beside the body, so flattening the lower back, peeling the spine all the way up, lifting the chest. Here you can take an interlace of the hands behind the back if that's there for you. Drawing those shoulder blades back together. Otherwise, if you want to come into fish pose, I want you to think about taking one hand underneath. So you're going to roll onto the opposite hip. You can take one hand here. You're going to roll over to the other side, and the other hand joins. The hands are mirrored. So you start to draw the chest to the ceiling. Shoulder blades are coming back together. Start to inch those elbows together, lifting the chest and staying wherever it feels comfortable. There's a big opening for the neck, the throat chakra as well. Maybe starting to lift it a little higher and start to lift onto the crown of the head. Wherever you are, bridge pose here. Stay for 4 more breaths if that feels okay. Otherwise, gently making your way out. Come out, gently tapping the chin. Letting the head and shoulders start to sink down, bending the knees can help. Lifting one hip up, then the other. Bridge, taking go of the interlace behind the back. Gently letting the spine peel down. Everyone meeting with their knees. Dropping into center, feet wide. And then let the knees windscreen wiper into center. Take any final stretch you need to. Maybe coming back into those knee hugs. Maybe coming into happy baby. Why don't we all go for happy baby? Hugging the knees in. Taking the feet up to the ceiling, grabbing hold of the back of the thighs, the ankles, maybe reaching up for the outside of the feet. Letting the back of the head stay in contact, length at the back of the neck. Your intention is drawing the knees down towards the outside of the body. When you're ready, soles of the feet come back down. Maybe soles of the feet together, knees dropped out to the side. For bound angle pose. Hands can come to the belly, or you can mirror the hands and the arms with the legs. And you can stay here we'll start to lengthen the legs out to the side of the room. Lengthening the arms out, palms up or palms down. Final pose. Gently hugging. One knee into chest and then the other, or you can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you wish. Maybe rolling onto one side. Keeping those eyes closed for a little longer. Making your way up to a seated posture of your choice. Creating length in the back of the body. Noticing how you feel now, how your body feels now from the start. Maybe feel a little looser, mind and body connected a little more. Ready for your day ahead. And maybe if you're repeating this later, ready for the evening. Drawing the hands into heart center. Lifting them up to our forehead, our third eye. Bring them back down. Namaste.